Chattogram Center. I am Roya Zabin, first with the headlines.
And I am Imtiaz Ahmed Siddiqui. We are yet waiting for the headlines. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has urged the countrymen to remain careful so that no evil force can destroy the peace and happiness from the life of the people. She said in her valedictory address in the 21st session of the 10th Jatiya Sanshad in the House. The leader of the House said her party came to power with the mandate of people having the opportunity to work for the people. If people think that they didn't commit any wrong by giving us votes, they will give us votes again in the next election to continue the ongoing development, she said. The Prime Minister said the government has given the budget of 2018-19 fiscal, taking into account the problems of every group, profession and class, aimed at building a beautiful country. If people give us votes, then we would go ahead with the pace of development, she added. Sheikh Hasina said her government had to come across a long way amid many difficulties and foil orchestrated conspiracy to reach the present state. Many people had to lay their lives and many people became crippled for lifetime to make the democracy sustainable. The Prime Minister hoped that Bangladesh would not lose its road to development in the coming days and go ahead amid all adversities to materialize the dream of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Leader of the House extended her thanks to the opposition members for their lively presence and constructive role in making the Parliament functional, maintaining a decent atmosphere and bringing out the House from the culture of malpractices. Sheikh Hasina said no country now can neglect Bangladesh, and they acknowledge that the development of Bangladesh is getting the shape of sustainability. About the movement for reforming quota system for civil services, the Prime Minister said the government has formed a committee to look into the matter. But the rampage of a section of students in the name of movement is not acceptable, she said, adding, it's not a movement but a rowdiness. The culprits involved in destruction of the residence of VC and other properties of the university were traced out from CCTV footage, and none of those culprits would be spared, she said. The budget session of the 10th Parliament was prorogued today. Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry read out the prorogation letter of President Mohammad Abdul Hamid. Earlier, the sitting of the House resumed this afternoon with the Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry in the chair. Participating in the concluding speech of the budget session, Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry thanked Leader of the House and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, Opposition Leader Begum Roshan Irshad, whips, members of the Parliament and concerned to help her during conducting procedures of the Parliament. Taking part in the concluding speech, Opposition Leader Begum Roshan Irshad emphasized on increasing allocation in education sector to create employment opportunity and creating more awareness against drug. She said that all sessions of the 10th Parliament were very lively and effective. A total of 14 bills were passed in 25 working days this 21st session. Bangladesh and Malaysia are preparing to sign a Memorandum of Understanding MOU on defense training and technical cooperation. It was told in a meeting with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and visiting Malaysian Defense Minister Muhammad bin Sabu at Prime Minister's office today. Prime Minister's Press Secretary Ihsanul Karim said the Prime Minister and Malaysian Minister discussed the issues of cooperation in defense sector, Rohingya and matters of other mutual interests. The Press Secretary said the Prime Minister laid importance on continued international pressure on Myanmar to take back their nationals. She said an island is being developed to relocate the Rohingyas to facilitate them to live in a better condition. Malaysian Minister appreciated the gesture of Bangladesh for giving shelter to a large number of displaced Rohingyas, saying his country would continue support for repatriation of the Myanmar nationals to their homeland. The Prime Minister conveyed her greetings to Mahathir Mohamad as he was elected as the Prime Minister of Malaysia. She also greeted Muhammad bin Sabu for being elected in the Parliament of Malaysia and becoming the Defence Minister in the cabinet of Mahathir Mohamad. The Prime Minister and Malaysian Minister expressed satisfaction over a very excellent brotherly relation between the two countries and agreed to continue to promote this relation for promotion of mutual relation of the two countries. Indian High Commissioner in Dhaka, Harshvardhan Shringla, made a courtesy call on Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina at her office today. Prime Minister's Press Secretary Ihsan Karim said they mainly discussed the progress of the projects being implemented in Bangladesh with Indian cooperation. Sheikh Hasina said her government deeply appreciated Indian support and cooperation in the power and energy sectors and would like to explore more avenues of cooperation. She hoped that India would continue to cooperate with Bangladesh in ensuring energy security. The envoy informed the Prime Minister of the present state of power projects and their future plan. Two sides are discussing for new power projects for subsequent export to Bangladesh, West Bengal and eastern part of India. Harshvardhan Shringla informed the Prime Minister of the three-day visit of Indian Home Minister Rajnath Singh to Bangladesh to strengthen cooperation between the police academies of the two countries. Sheikh Hasina recalled her visit to Shantiniketan in May last and talks with the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Indian envoy said the Prime Minister's visit to Shantiniketan left a very good impact on the relation and cooperation between the two countries.
President of Swiss Red Cross Society and Marie Huber Hotz called on Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry today. The Speaker said Bangladesh has made a considerable progress in different fields of development and the present government is working to fulfill the targets of SDGs by 2030. Recalling the support of Swiss Red Cross Society to face different disasters challenges, Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry hoped that the Red Cross Society would extend its cooperation to strengthen disaster management capacity of Bangladesh. She urged the Swiss Red Cross Society to help Bangladesh for a safe and peaceful return of Rohingyas to their motherland. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina will inaugurate concrete casting work of the second unit of country's biggest project, Rupur Nuclear Power Plant, on 14th July. The Rupur Nuclear Power Plant, being built with Russian technical and financial assistance, will start adding 2,400 megawatts of electricity to the national grid from 2024, fulfilling Awami League-led government's pledge to provide electricity to every household. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina had inaugurated the concrete casting of the first unit of the nuclear power plant on 30 November 2017 and will start the concrete casting of the second unit on next Saturday. Rupur Nuclear Power Plant, the biggest project country had ever undertaken to implement, is being built with Russian technical, financial and scientific assistance, which has taken friendship between the two countries to a new height. With the Rupur Nuclear Power Plant, Bangladesh stepped into the global nuclear club, bringing added dignity to the nation. Road Transport and Bridges Minister Obadul Kader has said that 2001-styled blueprint election would not be held in Bangladesh ever. He told this to the journalists while visiting construction works of 5-kilometer-long Chattogram-Cox's Bazar bypass road at Potia in Chattogram today. Shamsul Haq Chaudhry MP, among others, was present on the occasion. Obadul Kader said construction works of Potia bypass road will be completed by January next. He also said works of 4-lane Chattogram-Cox's Bazar road is progressing fast. Information Minister Hassanul Haq Inu has said that PNP's statement of no election without Khaleda Zia is an audacity and threat to country's democracy and politics. He said this while handing over certificates to the participants of online certificate course on journalism in the capital today. PIB and A2I program jointly organized the 4-month-long training course. Chairman of PIB Board of Directors Gholam Sarwar chaired the function, which was also addressed by PIB Director General Shah Alamgir. Hassanul Haq Inu urged media workers to face 4 challenges like freeing media from yellow journalism, family and society from drugs, politics from criminals and internet from cybercrimes. Later, the Information Minister handed over certificates to the participants of online certificate course on journalism. The National Vitamin A Plus campaign will be held across the country on Saturday, aiming to feed Vitamin A Plus capsules to all children aged from 6 months to 59 months. Around 25 lakh children aged between 6 months and 11 months are around 1,94 lakh children aged between 12 months and 59 months will be fed the capsules under the national program. State Minister for Health and Family Welfare Zahid Malik came up with the announcement while talking to reporters at the Secretariat today. Children aged between 6 months and 11 months will be given the blue-colored, high-powered Vitamin A capsules, while children aged between 12 to 59 months will receive the red-colored ones. The State Minister said children will be fed Vitamin A capsule at some 1,20,000 permanent health centers across the country. Besides, additional 20,000 mobile centers will be set up at bus stands, railway stations, launch terminals, airports, ferry terminals, bridge toll centers and care cuts, and these will remain open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The rate of children's night blindness in the country has come down below 1% following the distribution of Vitamin A Plus capsules regularly.
Now, news from around the world. NATO countries have agreed to increase their military spending. US President Donald Trump was speaking after a two-day summit in Brussels. Trump said NATO allies had committed to spending more than 2% of their GDP on defense budgets. No other country has confirmed any increased commitments yet. Trump has previously urged NATO allies to commit at least 4% of GDP on defense budget. He said NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg had given total credit to him for the increased spending. But Stoltenberg has yet to comment. After this summit, French President Emmanuel Macron denied any increases had been made to the existing goal. The cave complex in northern Thailand, where 12 boys and their football coach were trapped for more than 2 weeks, is yet to be turned into a museum. Rescue officials said the museum would showcase how the operation unfolded, predicting it would be the major attraction for Thailand. At least 2 companies are also looking to make a film telling the story of the rescue. The rescued group are all now recovering in hospital. Syrian government and Russian forces are reportedly attacking an enclave held by the militant group IS in the southwestern Syria. Activists and a monitoring group said aircraft were bombing the Yarmouk basin area, which borders Jordan and the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. The militants are said to have counter-attacked, targeting nearby villages. The fighting comes after the government recaptured most of the surrounding province of Deraa from rebel factions.
Coming back to national news, Chief Election Commissioner K.M. Nurul Huda has said a level playing field is existing for all political parties in the country, and it will continue in future. He said this to the reporters after a coordination meeting with the law enforcement agencies at Nirbachon Bhavan in the city's Agargaon area. The meeting was held on the law and order of the upcoming city polls in Rajshahi, Sylhet and Barisal. The CEC said the law enforcers have been directed to maintain the law and order in the 3 city polls areas. As per schedule, the 3 city polls will be held on July 30. The first meeting of India-Bangladesh Joint Committee on Audio-Visual Co-Production was held today in New Delhi, in India. Additional Secretary of Information Ministry Abul Hussain led a 9-member Bangladesh team in the meeting. The meeting discussed the progress on the joint production of a film on the life and works of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman and a documentary on Bangladesh War of Liberation in 1971. The meeting mentioned that the film on Bangabandhu should be made and released by 17th March 2020 to mark the centenary of the great leader's birth.